all old stuff I'm talking about. Napoleon Hill, when he was a kid, for those of you that have read the books and all the things he's done, when he was poor in Tennessee and his father passed away and his mother, his stepmother, or was it stepmother or stepfather? Stepmother, that's right. He used to go down to this old creek, as they say in Tennessee, and he used to sit there on a log, and he used to visualize, fantasize is the word he used at the time, that how this old log was going to be an old Rolls Royce. And in those days, Rolls Royces were those big boxy things, big huge things looked like buses. And he used to sit and he used to visualize this as a poor, just poverty-stricken farm boy in the early part of the century. And then when he got his first Rolls Royce, which is a whole other story, he went and he drove it back to that creek in Tennessee. He drove it right into the water where that log was still sitting. And this is called an anchor in visualization, ladies and gentlemen. He anchored that. High jumpers, baseball players, professional athletes, when they visualize and they work with these sports psychologists like Bob Rotella and these various guys, they teach them how to anchor something. The reason, like, the anchor, the success. I have pictures all over my house of the things that I did that remind me of my success that I've had. They're anchors to the visualizations that I've had over my lifetime. Visualization isn't any good unless you've got an anchor. You know, if you want to be the Cy Young Award winner and, with strikeouts, blah, 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 they visualize striking out the guy in the bottom of the ninth of the World Series to win. Not just throwing strikes or striking. They have an anchor. And that's a lot of times when there's a lot of people who teach visualization. It's not a new thing. But it's the anchor. So when he drove back to the creek with his first Rolls Royce, that was his anchor. All of our visualization should have an anchor associated with it, something real. That's why you see many successful people have pictures all over their house and you think it's braggadocious, it's this, because they want to remember, they want to relive. So it becomes their comfort zone. I'm always going to throw touchdown in the last 2 seconds. I'm always going to throw a no-hitter. I'm always going to hit a grand slam. I'm always going to do this. So it becomes part of their comfort zone. My house and my office and the castle and all have these things for my successes. I don't have the time I got blown out of the water on this deal up on the wall, although I freely talk about those, but I don't need, those aren't anchors. I know those things happen. And I talk to you about them in other audiences. Practice success before you're successful. One of the stories, and I know Peter remembers it, before I had any money, I used to go to the Rolls Royce dealers and sit in the cars and smell the leather, touch the leather, okay? And these days, this is 40 years ago, I went to $1 million houses, and my wife and I would walk through the house, and they'd say, when are your parents getting here, kids? No, we are the buyers, okay? Self-esteem is the key to high performance. If we feel good about ourselves, and we hang around with people, the average of the 5 people that we are mostly around is who we turn out to be.
For almost 50 years, unknowingly, I've been smelling the leather and going places that I couldn't afford, sitting in cars like I'm standing in front of right now that I couldn't afford. And that's part of the reason that I've been driving Rolls Royces since I was 26 and a half. Smell the leather, kids. Go out there and do something outside your comfort zone. Go to that rich restaurant. It's better to go to a first-class Michelin star restaurant once a month than go out to dinner 3 times a week. Smell the leather and you too you're on your way to creating generational wealth. Now, this is the goal. You're going to compile a list of everything I want. Now, I don't mean everything. I don't want 400 things on this fucking list. So next, you're going to convert a want list into a goal list. Next, you're going to convert your goal list into affirmations. And I'm going to teach you how to write affirmations. Very good, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to teach you about affirmations in a minute, okay? You're going to turn them into affirmations. Next, you're going to begin each affirmation with the words, I am. I am is used in the present tense. And that means your little pea brain, it'll register in the present tense. Okay? You're going to add an emotion word to each affirmation. examples in a minute. You're going to write each affirmation in the present tense using the verb that ends in ing. I'll show you examples in a second. Next, you're going to say each affirmation out loud at least twice a day. You heard Matt say he does his affirmation, I think it's 2 or 3 times, 3 times a day. We have people, incidentally, they're the successful ones that do it 5 times. 5 times. Athletes, world champions, gold medalists, all do this. I see myself crossing the tape and 9.1, whatever, in the 100-meter, winning the gold medal or whatever. But up until maybe 20 years ago, it was only used, I've been doing it 20, 30, 40 years. Up until maybe 50 years ago, it was only used by athletics. Everybody knows about it. When I went through this with Bauer, everybody knows that. He's a world-class skier. Everybody knows that. And the other guys in the room are going, everybody knows what? That's a slight exaggeration, but okay. If one of your wants is to increase your net worth by $5 million every month, then you turn it into a goal by writing it down on your goal list as, I want to increase my net worth by $5 million a month or more a month, every month. The affirmation would be, I am happy and easily increasing the amount of my net worth $5 million or more every month. That's a little low, but we'll start with this group, $5 million a month. Okay. The phrase I am sends a command to your subconscious so that it can work on this goal for you even when you're fast asleep. The terms happily and easily tell your subconscious that you will not struggle to accomplish it. This works well for me because it also helps me shorten my workday. You may want to use another term that will help you experience the emotions of increased amounts of savings. I use words, fucking, I'm excited, I have a fucking erection, I'm having multiple orgasms, it's so fucking easy. Okay. Some of the girls, except for the one girl, she got off, pun intended, she got off on that about when I was talking about the multiple orgasms. Okay. The present tense word increasing creates a stress between you, what you are saying, and reality so that your subconscious acts with a sense of urgency to make this happen. The or more is important also because when you realize how easy it is to increase your savings amount by $5 million a month, you may want to immediately raise the amount. These 2 little words will have already sent the message to your subconscious, and you will you will reach the monthly amount quicker. The best times to say your affirmations are in the morning, when you get up, and in the evening, just before you go to sleep. By saying them at night, you're commanding your subconscious to work on them while you sleep. By saying them in the morning, you give your subconscious the opportunity to present a report of what it did while you were asleep. The increased focus you experience as a result of this simple activity will produce phenomenal results so that you truly get what you want in life. This is our homework. Now, there are all kinds of more complicated ways to write affirmations. You can Google fuck this, and you could write a PhD white paper, which I hope none of you do. This is the simplest format that I've found that works. The operative word part of that is works. There's all kinds of sophisticated shit done on affirmations. Why you do it in the morning and the night. Your brain's in a theta state, and this state, and all kind of shit. But you don't need any of that. All you need to know is this fucker works. It's not important that you know why it works. All you need to know is it fucking works. And don't send me in your weekly report a link about the study done at fucking Stanford, and I'm not interested in that. All I know is this fucking thing works. I don't give a fuck what they did at Stanford, MIT, or wherever the other, I did a bunch of other studies done as well. Okay. Do we get this? Affirmations. And then tomorrow morning, we will go through them. Now, I only say my affirmations at night now. I don't say them in the morning. I used to say them in the morning and at night, but I say them at night before along with my prayers just before I go to sleep. And I have for maybe not 40 years, pretty close.
I have discovered the master key which gives one deliverance from all the evils one does not want and opens wide the gateway to the riches which the Creator intended every person to enjoy on this earth. Applied faith is the only means by which the master key can be appropriated and used. Therefore, I give you these instructions through which you may create a mental attitude which is favorable for the expression of faith. 1, know what you want and believe that you can and will get it. 2, give expressions of gratitude many times daily for having received that which you want, even before you actually get physical possession of it. Possession starts first in the mind. Please remember this. 3rd, keep your mind open for hunches from within. And when you are inspired to action, do not wait, but move on your own personal initiative at once. Remember, there can be no application of applied faith without action. 4th, when overtaken by defeat, as you may be many times, remember that man's faith is tested many times before he is crowned with final victory. And accept your defeat as nothing more than a challenge to keep on trying. And 5, a burning desire for the things or circumstances you want is the starting point of all applied faith. Be definite, believe, and act. And keep on acting if at first you meet with defeat. 6, when doubt creeps into your mind, remember that whatsoever a man believeth, that shall he also reap. Remember, faith is not something you get. Faith is something you already have. But you may be using it in reverse gear by believing in the circumstances and things you do not want, the things you fear. Remember also that faith is guidance only. It is not a power which will bring you what you want, but a power that can guide you to go after what you want and get it. Remember, too, that your faith is limited only by your own capacity to believe. You can do whatever you make up your mind to do. I believed I could give the world a practical philosophy of success which would free men and women from their fears and limitations. I stood firmly back of that belief through 20-odd years of effort, and saw my belief give freedom to millions of people. Do the thing, said Emerson, and you shall have the power. May I paraphrase this great truth by saying, believe, and you shall receive. And now, until our next visit, will you please remember that your life is exactly what you make it by your own mental attitude.